Hey YouTubers, I see red. I see red runs. But that's the only place I have her run. The bus, she is painted on the bottom. You don't know how bad I want to rip that top off to see what the two colors look like together, but I have one more coat I gotta go deal with. It's getting easier to work with. Plus, I also think that working on with these flat surfaces makes it a lot easier to paint too. I ended up kind of just laying over this plastic over the top of the bus, and I just taped off this one side to try to hold it in place. And I opened the door jambs, and they're all masked off on the inside, and probably has the reveal. I can't open them now, but just kind of like where that lip goes in and up, and then I stopped it right there. So I'm getting better at working with the paint gun, and I took my time to make a, come over on the plastic, I made a very tight pattern with the gun and very little paint coming out of it, and I was able to from that point blow in around all my door jambs around the inside of the hatch, the engine compartment, and get the color on those where I wanted them. And then after that I closed the doors up and masked off I kind of left this top kind of like floating, just hanging over it, because I had to open these doors all the way up to get into the back side of the hinges and stuff. Unfortunately, one part that I had a problem with, the wind was kind of blowing around from the air gun and everything hit the gun. And this stuff is really light, it moves, you know, there's nothing to it. And I had the fan coming in, the air blows out the bottom of the door. This piece flipped up on itself and was sitting like this. I think when I was shooting that door, the air coming from the back side of it. So unfortunately, the gray right here has a little bit of a pink tinge to it. But I am wet sanding the whole bus, and I have a feeling that that's gonna just come right out when I wet sand it. If not, it will be the first time I had to repaint something. Yeah, this is my downdraft booth. Consists of the fan blowing in from that door, comes around the plastic, in through this opening. We're surrounded in plastic, and it blows out the bottom of that door. So that's my downdraft booth. It works. I did unfortunately have some problems with the paint. No runs, except for the ones in the plastic. Fish eyes got me, and unfortunately, let's see if we can pick them up. Yeah, right there. Cluster in that one area. With the lift being 4 feet away, it was sitting right over here. And working on tractors, you get the chance of having having oil get into the air. Just the nature of the beast, you know. So my opinion is that I am going to try to get some fisheye reducer for the paint, and some prep salt, and some wet sand, and see what I can do about taking care of some of these and getting rid of them. It does seem like it actually started to coat over it, so it did finally skim over. I don't see the primer color coming through it anymore. Other than that, it came out really nice. I love the color. It's nice and deep dark red. A little hard to tell in here with the lighting, but she looks pretty good. As far as just kind of getting better with a little bit of everything, getting used to mixing the paint, James Freddy wrote me back, Jeff rather, on how he goes about using his paint and using it over, and like he'll go around, shoot the whole car, and whatever's left he pours back in the cup, and then he knows from that point how much he used, how much to make up a new one. I was using these cups that have pardon my mess, the little scales on them right there. And I was kind of going with, you know, you make, say, 16 ounces and then you add, you know, 4 and 4 ounces of the hardener and the thinner. I stopped. First of all, I don't need that much, especially like when I was doing the jams. So what I started doing was I had these just paper cups, and I would take one of these, and everything's 4 to 1. I would actually just take it, dip it in a gallon of paint, fill this 4 times, throw it in the bucket, then fill it once with the thinner and once with the hardener and dump it in and be done with it, and then throw the cups out when I'm done. That seems to work out better for me. I could even do just like a small amount. I'll do 1 cup of paint, pour it in, and then fill it up a quarter of a way and a quarter of a way with the thinner and the hardener and dump it in and make my amounts. And then you just throw the stuff away. Especially trying to get the shit in the cup without making a mess. It's ridiculous as far as trying to either pour out of that container or when the thinner tank is full to pour out of it. It's ridiculous. It's just there's got to be a better way to get that stuff out of there. You know, it just kind of gurgles all over the place. Even if you try to make that the high side, if you try pouring it slow, forget it. You got to go fast. So that's what's working for me. I'm down a lot on the pressure on the gun. I'm down to low 20s. It seems to have helped me a lot. And when I first started painting, I missed it on the first 2 coats real light. Yeah, very transparent. The thing almost looked pink when I was done. And then after that, I started increasing the amount of paint coming out of the gun and the size of the pattern coming out of the gun. And that kind of worked out for me. I would paint it. I go inside, watch a couple of videos, make a comment or 2, come back out, let it set for half an hour. I come out. It was, you know, had enough time to flash over and dry, and hit another coat. And each one progressively got a little bit wetter. The last one I put on, I just kind of really lathered on real good, but didn't get any runs. I just made sure that I just did my, you know, my 50% coverage each time, and did not go back over and hit another area. I pre-hit all the vents when I did the door jams, so that they would have enough color on them. And the same thing with the gas door. Bet you the gas door is stuck right now. The little rubber tits that are in there. There we go. So then I shot inside the gas door on the back side of it. Aluminum foil for gasket. Take them out of the way. But she's coming right along. My idea this morning is to go see what I can get for that stuff I just talked about, and I'm not sure if it's going to be dry enough to wet sand those down. I may try in a inconspicuous area, see if it'll sand, maybe on the bottom of the rocker or something. But what I found with the top is it had to wait quite a while. The problem is I don't want to leave that tape on there too long. There is fine line. I went around the whole thing with fine line tape, and then came up with masking tape. There is paper running up to about here, and then the plastic's over the top of that. So I don't want to peel off all my, you know, masking tape and humidity are not the best of friends. When I was masking the front off, I was trying to get those V's coming down and up as smooth a transition as possible. The only problem with that is, I'll show you on the side. If you look at the side here, it's a very sharp edge. So it was easy to tuck the paper, the masking tape, right up under there and get a straight line. But then the edge starts to lose it. It doesn't have the sharp corner. It is somewhat on the door, but as you get to the front, it's just, if you look at it from the side, it's just like a smooth roll like that, and then it counters itself back again. So there's no area to get a straight line on. I kept trying to take the fine line tape and just run a line down. I did that about 3 or 4 times. Every time I looked back at it, I didn't like how it was coming out. So the solution to it was this. I took masking tape and I laid the masking tape on the flat surface here, got my nice curved line, and then I went back with the fine line tape and I used that for my guide, and that seemed to work out the best for me as far as getting my my straight line. Here's a little orange peely, not bad. As I said, I'm planning on wet sanding the whole bus down anyway. I can't complain. As I said, each one gives me a little bit more of a lesson of what to do and how to do it as the cars are getting better and better in quality that I want to do. There's two more out there. There's a 67 Mustang, California car, no rust on it, just a coupe, but it's got the GT set up. And there's a 69 Roadrunner. So I want to refine my capacities on these vehicles and do the best I can on those. There's some more fisheyes right there. Look at those bastards. I'm almost thinking that it looks like any place that I used the that polyester putty for the last coat seemed to be bubbling out. I wonder if I mixed that putty on something that was contaminated. I use old I sell a lot of stuff in the front of the house. I used old signs, like for sale signs. Where are they? As I sell stuff, I keep these old, part of my hoard, these old for sale signs are right on the back of them. And then there's a bunch of yellow ones. I use these, I clip them to a board, and that's what I mix my Bondo on, and then I throw them away. But I have a feeling that possibly when I mix that up, I got it contaminated. Live and learn. But worst case scenario is I got a little bit of fish eyes I have to live with. But from 2 feet away, you can't even see them. But I kind of want to try to resolve them. So we'll see how we make out. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll do an update with this puppy all nice in one color, and that top pulled off there. I want to reveal what the two colors look like together. It's killing me. I'm liking it though. At first that color on top I was kind of like, yeah. All the buses I've ever seen have been just red with the white top, or red with a black top. I haven't seen anything with that that gray beige color on top, so it's going to be a different look than all the other ones I'm used to seeing. Hey, I'm done yapping. I'm going to get some work done. Take care.